Cancers, and welcome to your monthly love reading for the month of August 2017 with Divine Love Tarot. Okay, that was like a tongue twister for some reason. I was going to mess that up. But thanks for joining me today, okay? If you're a subscriber, thank you so much. And if it's the first time that you're watching this video, thank you too, okay? Thanks for giving me a chance. So I'm going to stick with this same format that I've been doing for the monthly love readings, which is the past, present, and future with 3 cards in every position, okay? So we're going to go ahead and see what the energies for your love life look, where you're coming from, where you are right now, and what you're moving into. Okay, Cancer? So the first card in your reading is the 9 of Swords in reverse, okay? Then the next card in your reading is the Queen of Swords, also in reverse. Next card for your reading is the Ace of Wands, also in reverse. Okay, so interesting. All right, Cancer. So this is not necessarily good or bad or anything, but we'll see what's going on. But in the past position, in the reverse, the 9 of Swords just says that you were coming out of a time where, you might have been worried and stressed, but you realize things were not as bad as it seemed. Like, you realize that there was light at the end of the tunnel, okay? That it might have been just your anxiety and worry. It wasn't really what people on the outside thought of whatever the situation was. Okay, so the 9 of Swords in reverse kind of represents waking up from a nightmare, okay? Realizing that you can move forward and making, like, steps into the right direction to get away from feeling like this, okay? Then you also have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So if it's a person, okay, the Queen of Swords in reverse, and for lack of better terminology, she's a complete bitch. Okay, she is just sharp with the tongue. She's mean. She can be vindictive. She can be cold. This is a person who puts up walls around her because she's afraid of being hurt. She's been hurt before, okay? And she's afraid of letting people in. So to keep people away, she kind of puts up that rough exterior to just kind of keep you out, okay? But this can also represent a person who maybe, a bad situation has left them bitter or feeling negative. And because they're in the reverse, that sword is unable to cut through the negative energy or that feeling. They can't cut the ties of that unhappy relationship. So even though they might be out of it, they're still carrying those negative feelings because they just have not been able to separate themselves from that negative situation. Okay, so this can lead to, cloudy judgment, making bad decisions, or, making poor decisions. Okay, but this is someone who's also maybe possibly afraid to express their feelings because they're just not even able to, or they don't know how to. Okay, they're just kind of a shell of their former selves. Now if this is your energy, Cancer, then whatever this situation was caused you to put your guard up, which makes total sense. If it's not you, and if it's just the energy of the period of the relationship, this represents a time where there was basically no compromise within the relationships, okay? Or you guys were just kind of like, I don't know, like there was a lot of fighting and tension between you two, okay? Um, so, or maybe you just found each other kind of annoying, all right? The Queen of Swords energy in a relationship is like a petty arguments and bickering, you just getting on each other's nerves, okay? And then you move into the Ace of Wands, also in reverse. And that represents misunderstandings, okay? Hasty words. So if that Queen of Swords energy is there, or if you were kind of representing the Queen of Swords, and this makes total sense, okay? Um, for the male partner in the relationship, it could represent a time where there were maybe some sexual issues. Maybe he just wasn't interested in sex. Maybe it was an impotency issue. Could be. Who knows? All right, you'll know. But this is your past, okay? This was what was in the past. But it could have just been a period where your relationship was just lacking romance, okay? Or you guys made plans, but there was just no motivation to follow through with things. And so things were just kind of stale. But this is what you've come out of. This is the past, okay? This is not what you're going through now. So let's go ahead and see what's going on in your present position. Actually, let me leave these out here. This was reversed. They're all in reverse. Okay. All right. So in your present position, Cancer, you've got the King of Wands, okay, in the upright. You've got the ten of the Ten of Wands and also in the upright. And then you've got the Three of Wands in the upright. So that's good. We've got upright cards, but let's see what's going on. So the King of Wands in the upright, this can either represent a fire sign male, okay, who's very charismatic, he's very generous, he's very fair, and he's pursuing the heck out of you, okay? If you're a female, it's a male pursuing you. If you're a male, it's a female that's pursuing you with this type of energy. Okay, and if it's not a person, or if it doesn't represent a person or your partner, then this card is saying that, you know, there's just going to be an intense period of romance in your relationship. So maybe you guys are making up for whatever was going on with that Ace of Wands in reverse in the past position. Okay, now you guys have moved into the King. Like, you've just gone full circle. Okay, you started off with the Ace in reverse, and now you're with the King. And you guys are just really feeling passionate, kind of sexual with each other. You're working very hard to please each other right now. So maybe you're trying to make up for whatever was going on in the past. You might be trying possibly too hard, okay? But you are trying. And, you both realize that there is a strong bond between you, okay? Or there's a caring bond between you. And, this card is also asking you that if you haven't been, just remember to kind of make time for your partner, okay? Because then you have the Ten of Wands. And it's interesting because you have the King of Wands, which means that, both of you are trying very hard to please each other. But then Ten of Wands says that one person's relationship is feeling like they're doing more of the work than the other person. Okay. And I mean, that could be possible because your everything and my everything may not be the same amount. Okay. I may feel like my everything is, I've given you my all, but your all might be greater, or my all might be greater. Who knows? But one of the partners feels like they are not supported in this relationship, that they're doing all the work, and that the other person just doesn't even appreciate what they're doing. Okay. Um, it also means that there could be possibly something in the relationship that you need to examine. Okay. It's doing you no good to ignore the relationship or ignore the issues in the relationship. All right. Try not to sweep anything under the rug. All right. Your partner may also feel like they're doing everything they can to make you happy and you're not appreciating it. Okay? Or that somehow being in a relationship with you comes with burdens. Maybe they have responsibilities being with you that they didn't have before. All right? So that's also what this card can indicate. Because now we move on to the Three of Wands, okay? Excuse me. And the Three of Wands can indicate possibly trying to take things to the next level, maybe some type of proposal, or you've put a lot into the relationship and you're kind of ready to see the results. Okay, another angle, another indicator of this card is that there could be a third person in the relationship, and not necessarily with cheating outright, but maybe one of you guys, you're with one person, but you have somebody else on your mind, or maybe that's your partner, okay? But one of you is kind of longing for something else, or maybe in the relationship just waiting for something better to come along. Okay, but that's just one aspect. There's another aspect is that one partner may just travel a lot. Okay, and so you leave behind your partner a lot, or your partner leaves you behind a lot because they're traveling, which would make sense why somebody feels unsupported. Because if you're the partner that gets to stay home and take care of all the responsibilities at home while the other person's gone and traveling, doing whatever they're doing, then you're gonna feel burdened and unsupported because you are doing all the work. And not on purpose. It's not like your partner's doing it on purpose, but whether it's for work or whether they just have outside hobbies or interests that take them away from the home, and you're left with a bulk of the responsibility. All right. Um, Another angle is that just one of you guys might be questioning the relationship, and not necessarily in a negative way, but if you're ready to take things to the next level, or if there have been things that feel like a burden, somebody may be questioning, like, okay, so, what's going on in this relationship? What can I do, okay, to make things better? Or do I want to make things better? Who knows? All right, so let's go ahead and see what your future energies are looking like, okay, Cancer? So we pulled the Knight of Swords in reverse. Then you have the Eight of Swords in reverse. And then you have the Sun in reverse. Okay. So the Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay. This could be, if it's a person, this person's very immature, very selfish, very deceitful, arrogant, and sensitive, just carrying a lot of very negative energy. This card in reverse kind of has heavy negative energy attached to it. Okay? And if it's not a person, then there's basically an issue that's bothering your partner, and you may sense it. Okay, so you would need to ask them what's going on. Okay, it could be a situation that, something happens that catches you both off guard, and it leads to some type of heated exchange or argument, and even maybe some like nasty exchange of words between you. Okay, because when the Knight of Swords shows up, see that sword that's cutting through the words and energy or whatever, you put that in reverse and get that negativity in, and you've got a real big mess. Okay, as far as arguing is concerned, this is yelling, this is screaming, this is just putting everything out on the table. But then you move into the Eight of Swords in reverse, and this is the blindfold is coming off. Okay, this means that you're gaining insight into your relationship, or you're seeing your relationship for what it is, or you're seeing your partner for who they are for the first time. So whatever this situation is that happened over here with the Knight of Swords, it has opened your eyes now in the next position of the Eight of Swords, and you're now either gaining some mental clarity that you didn't have before, all right, gaining new insight, letting go of something, um, and, if things are good and positive in your relationship, then you guys will progress and you'll move forward, okay? Because arguments, every couple has arguments. So just because you have an argument doesn't necessarily mean things are bad. It just means that there was a situation that was swept underneath the rug, right? Which is what the Ten of Wands was asking you not to do, because you can't ignore situations because they come back to get you and they blow up into arguments, okay? So after that argument, now it's one of two things. Either you're going to see that, okay, you know what? These are the things that I've been ignoring about my partner. These are the things we have to work on. And yes, we're moving forward. Or, you know what? I don't like these things about my partner. I don't think that we are compatible. Or I've been ignoring all of this, but it's been bothering me all this time. And I think I want to move away from this situation. Okay, that's where you are in the future with the Eight of Swords in reverse. Okay, so this can lead to a break. It may be a temporary break where you guys move apart, because eights are infinity. So sometimes breakups that happen under the Eight of Swords, two people do come back together, but there's still some type of resolution to whatever, like a finite resolution to your issues. Okay. Also, if there is a cheating situation in your relationship, the Eight of Swords represents that that's going to be revealed. Okay? Whether that's you or that's your partner, it doesn't matter. It's going to come out. Okay? Now we move on to the Sun in reverse. And the Sun in reverse is basically sadness, okay? And it could be sadness after you have such a big blow up, okay? But you could be feeling burnt out, okay? Because you've already been feeling like there's a burden. So maybe you're the person in a relationship, Cancer, which for Cancers, you do have a tendency to be the person who does more in a relationship, just because you guys are naturally more caring and more nurturing. Not in every relationship, but you do have a tendency to do the most, and so you're gonna wind up being burnt out at some point. All right, or feeling just a little bit of low energy, or maybe feeling even a little bit of depression. Your partner may still love you, okay, but maybe just not as strongly, or maybe you just don't love them as strongly anymore because of what happened. All right, or it's just a feeling that you're going through. All right. You're just not as happy as you expected that you would be at this point. So this is in the future. So wherever this is, you thought things would be different and then you're a little disappointed because, maybe this fight has kind of changed your perspective on the relationship. All right, maybe one or both of you have taken the relationship for granted, okay? And you may both need a break. All right. But the thing with the sun in reverse is that even though it's in reverse, it's still the sun card. So there's still some positivity with it because whatever negative comes with this is just temporary. All right. So that's a good indicator that whatever this situation was, unless it was cheating and you really can't deal with it and you're moving away, whatever it was, things got cleared up. Okay, things got cleared up. You're seeing the situation for what it is now, and you guys are able to move on. And yeah, it's going to sting, all right? Whatever hurtful words were exchanged, or, after an argument, you have that period where you just have to come down because Cancer, you're sensitive, okay? If you're a sensitive person, I'm not sure who the partner is, but if they're also sensitive, then sometimes feelings, it takes you a while to get over things, all right? But you guys are on the right track as far as clearing things up. Okay, Cancer. So I really hope that reading resonated with you. I know when we see a lot of things, I wasn't doing the reversal readings before, but I found that, reading the cards upright, but then trying to incorporate both the negative and the positive virtues of the card, it was just kind of difficult. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just read them in reverse, and then we can cut right to the point. So I feel like the point of this reading is that you and your partner are coming through stages in this relationship, okay? And every relationship has different phases. You have good phases, you have bad phases. But it seems like, whether the effort is equal, you're both trying to make effort here in this situation. All right, you're both putting in the effort, and you just have to be realistic about who the other person is. You have to be realistic about who they are. They have to be realistic about who you are, and your expectations also have to be realistic. All right, Cancer. So I hope this reading resonated. Like I said, if it did, please let me know in the comments. I hope you guys have enjoyed your summer. I hope you guys had a fantastic birthday month. Okay. And I will see you guys at the next reading. Oh, the general readings are going up around the same time. So go ahead and check out your general reading. All right, Cancer. See you guys next time. Bye.